Hello everyone. Our video is about table manners or which you called as table etiquettes. We'll provide you with the ultimate guide to basic dining etiquette so that you don't have to embarrass yourself and get ahead in life. But before that, let's ask two questions. What are table manners? Table manners is basically your behavior around the table. So, how do you hold a cutlery? How do you eat? What conversation basically you hold all makes a part of table manners. Second question arises is why do we basically need to have table manners, especially in today's world where our restaurants are normal during places and we have informal dining experiences. So, the truth is that we need to have good table manners for our own good so that we would feel comfortable at the table and you will put others at the table at ease. For example, when you're having business meetings or when you're going out with your friends, at that time, these table manners are essential. So, whatever the occasion is, whatever the degree of her mouth of the dinner is to make sure that you need to put your best foot forward. Let's take about the sitting arrangement, where you should sit. Firstly, if you are a guest or you are invited by a host or you say your date, then you will wait for him or her.
That we have seated down, we need to remember a couple of things. Number one, don't slouch, don't sit like this. Roll your shoulders backwards, straighten your back, and sit straight. Number two is that don't press your back to the back of your chair. Imagine that we have a little kitten behind your back, so you're not supposed to press that little kitten. So leave some space behind the back of your chair and your own back. Number Now let us look at a dining table. Where should we start? So, this is a dining table setting. We have a napkin, a plate, the soup spoons, salad fork, and a knife, a main course fork and knife, a dessert fork. So, the dessert spoon and the reserved box should be much smaller than this. But this is what we are gonna serve and we will be using it. Next, we have the bread place where we are gonna eat our bread and we also have a butler knife. So, the interesting part about this knife is that unlike traditional knives, this is having a dull blade and it is used to scoop the butter and to spread it rather than cutting it. Next, we have our glasses. So, in order not to confuse which one is whose, we are gonna make this letter B and D with our fingers. So, B is pointing, that's where our bread plate and butter knife is. And where D is pointing, that where the glasses are, in order not to confuse it with that of our dining partners. We should use this trick.
So, the bread plate is used to enjoy the piece of bread, and I use a butter knife to pick the butter and spread it on the bread piece. And then I am gonna enjoy one bite at a time. The first meal that I am gonna be enjoying is a soup. I'm gonna use the soup spoon, dip it in the center of the bowl, take it to the opposite edge of the bowl, slide gently, and then bring the spoon to my mouth in order to make sure that I don't get any spills on my lap. For my second course, I'm gonna have a salad. I'm gonna use a salt Oregon salad knife. I'll show you two ways of eating, one in American, which I'm gonna currently show you. So, you cut one bite of mozzarella and tomato at a time. Then you would place your knife and then you switch your work to the other hand and eat it like that. The other way is the European or continental way of dining, where I would just use the fork and knife, and in the same way we use it to cut the tomato and mozzarella. And then what's gonna happen? I'm gonna leave the knife in my hand and eat it like that. Once you have finished your main course, it's now time to enjoy the dessert. This is a perfect time to excuse yourself from the table and use the washroom if you wish so. So here I have a dessert fork in a dessert spoon. I'll slide them to both sides, effective sides. I'm gonna be using a fork as a holder and a spoon to cut as a knife. So I'm going to hold the dessert with the fork and cut it with the spoon. That I'm gonna use the fork to push any remaining particles that I want on my spoon and use a spoon to eat my dessert. Once you are done eating your dinner, it's time to indicate to the waiter that you are expecting the bill. You can do so by having an eye contact with the waiter or by raising your hands at your elbow. Once you have paid the bill, it's time to leave. You should take your napkin, fold it not too neatly, and place it on the left side of your plate and leave. If you are the host, do so. Indicate in to your guest that it's time to leave. If you are a guest, you watch the host to do so and you leave. On a final note, if this was a dinner you were invited to make, sure that you sent a thank you message to the host the next day. If you truly loved the dinner experience, you might also consider sending flowers with a beautiful handwritten thank you note. I guarantee you that a beautiful handwritten thank you note will save you a long, long way. Thank you so much for watching our video and hope that you thoroughly enjoy it and have learned a lot.